Hello, everybody. How you all doing? I'm doing okay for Sunday night. Kind of a real busy weekend, and I'm going to talk about that um, because of actually a post I saw, and it's not a religious thing, okay, but it has to do with the church. My story for today, or my experience today. So I saw a post a little bit ago saying oh it was a screenshot of something from a group or someone's page, and it said I'm just gonna I can't remember verbatim, but it's Sally's mother's disability is laziness. Yeah, that's enough to set a fire. Um, it's craziness how people don't want to try to understand that you're actually disabled because they don't see you in a wheelchair or limping or blind with a stick because we look normal. So people think that people who look normal don't have disabilities, aren't disabled, and it's crazy. I hate it. I've had these comments said to me for the last 9 years. I'm sure a lot of you have too. And I it took me a long time to just walk away. Not answer it, not go into their thing, because you know what, they're gonna believe what they want, and it doesn't matter as long as you know what's going on in here. It doesn't matter. So they're gonna believe what they want. Okay. And trying to fight it is useless. Now let's talk about today. Oh, the weekend really. Because I really have had a hard time recovering from this eardrum surgery. I don't know why. I don't know why. I feel like I'm in a bubble. The pain, there's pain still. I mean, it's not like that the first couple of day pain, but it's still there. It's itchy. And I can't, I could barely hear. I can't put the hearing aid in yet. I can barely hear normal. The cochlear does help a lot. I'm able to make out stuff, but it's very frustrating. And plus, my leg is still bothering me. The torn tendons and ligaments. I just really took the boot off not too long ago, and it still hurts. Um, and we've got some other things going on medically, not with me, but other people in the house. So I'm not at liberty to talk about it. Well, I guess I could. My wife was diagnosed with melanoma, and we're having surgery next week to hopefully they take all that out and everything's fine, God willing. If you pray, keep her in your prayers. Um, so we got a lot going on. But this weekend, it was my granddaughter's first communion. So I figured, you know what? I'll record Mass on Saturday, which I normally do anyways, and then I'll just be a parishioner, you know, get to enjoy my granddaughter making her first communion, sit with the family and everything. So when I got home last night from recording, which I edit it, and then posted it, um, my son told me that Susie's other grandmother can't make it because she got a really bad infection. So I was like, okay. And I went, well, the pastor might not be there either because he's really sick. He has cancer too. Um, and he was their teacher throughout the whole year up until like the last couple of weeks. Um, so I figured, you know what? I'll live stream it. I made a post. First communion would be live streamed tomorrow. Blah 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 blah. Because I wanted, and I figured there's other people that are going to be sick or grandparents that can't make it, that they might want to see it too. So it was a good thing I actually did it. But this whole time I wasn't feeling all that great. Even this morning I woke up and I was like, oh my god. I was dizzy, and everything else I was talking about. My tinnitus has been ramped up all day. And I could have very easily just went, well, forget it. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit back and relax. Or actually not have gone. But I didn't. I pushed myself. I did the live stream. Um, and it was enjoyable. Enjoyable just filming, even though they were like across the aisle, so it wasn't too bad. um, but it was still enjoyable, and it made me feel good to actually know that I'm helping some people get to see this that they had so they wouldn't miss it. But all the while, I'm like, ugh, I'm so tired. And the homily was forever. It seemed like forever. So, I did all that, and even there, I was getting comments about people saying, "Well, you're not really that disabled. You recorded last night. You're here today, and this, and you're doing all this stuff." Well, you know what? Some of the stuff I'm doing because I'm helping. I'm helping the parish. I'm helping the priest, the pastor, and and plus I'm doing my own job. And I just kind of like walked away. People looked at me kind of funny. I'm like, I actually said to one, I'm not playing in your circus. Go live in your own mind. I walked away because it's like, I'm not going to sit there and fight. I'm not going to sit there and explain myself. I'm not going to sit there and, oh no, believe me, if you believe what you want. Because that's the title of this video, Believe What You Want. Um, so I had that, but I had a couple of people that actually came up to me, and one lady who usually puts her nose up to me, like one of these, when she sees me, she goes, "Yeah, hi." She actually put her arm around me today and said, um, "This is so nice of you to do what you're doing. I know you've been doing this since COVID started, but this weekend, you showed me a few things and what you can do with what you have. It was so nice of you to film last night and then come in and live stream today." She goes, I just thinking about you because I was sitting behind you. I didn't even know she was sitting behind me because I couldn't hear anybody. Sitting behind you, and I was getting tears in my eyes just knowing that you struggle with your Meniere's disease, you know, and you're here like every weekend, and whatever they ask you to do, you do it to the best you can, and that kind of meant a lot to me, And then I had people ask. I had one guy that wasn't a parishioner. He actually said he's seen my videos. I was shocked because this one didn't have Meniere's, but he watched my videos. He saw the one on the cochlear implant, but he wanted to ask me, he goes, "Is this a Baja?" And I went, "No, it's a cochlear implant and it's magnet." And I explained it to him, and then I finally finally went, "I gotta call my family's at Welly's." And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, that was my granddaughter who made her first communion." "Oh God, I'm sorry." Um, so that kind of made up for the negativity, but I get that, you know. Um, and I've gotten it in the past, and I used to fight it and fight with it, and then fight with them, and I'm like, don't worry about it. I mean, I got family members now that I don't even talk to because of the crap they've said about me. I'm faking it. I'm this. I'm that. Hey, I got this disease. It's not my fault it hit when I had to retire at 51, and you have to keep working, and you're 67. That's not my fault. You know, how is that my fault? So, you know, try not to get. I mean, it's okay to get upset. Try not to get so upset that you stress yourself out because stress can be a trigger too, and you don't want to. You don't want to trigger yourself because some idiot's comment. But yeah, it does make me mad when I see it, but I just don't fight it. So my advice is, when you tell somebody gives you shit, say, "Hey, believe what you want. You're gonna believe that anyways." That's what it is. Believe what you want. And it's also the world we live in today. Nobody believes anybody. Nobody listens to anybody. You're either with me or against me. I mean, I've seen friendships from childhood disappear because of political crap. You know, um, one side doesn't want this and the other side doesn't want that. One side brings this up, it's just craziness. And it would be nice if someday we could all get back to just working together, talking together, hashing out our differences without yelling, screaming, hating, because that's the problem. The problem isn't that, you know, we can't talk things out and have discussions. The problem is we don't want to, and we want it our way or no way. And that's crap. So, on that note, I'll talk to y'all later. Have a great weekend. I hope somebody got something out of it. And oh, for the woman who said I think she said I was special, or said something. You're fabulous. So the person who said I was fabulous, and you tell it like it is. Thank you. That meant a lot to me, too. And I'll talk to y'all later because I'm getting tired again. Bye.